Hey, it's Joseph here. Today we are unboxing a gaming mouse. And for those of you who are not aware, this is quite a famous mouse, which is Logitech G Pro Superlight. So let's just go over packaging a little bit here. So there's different logos of the sponsored teams for the gaming community. And here on the fainted reflective lettering that's here, I don't know how well you can pick that up, but first one says Lightspeed and it is less than 63 grams and Hero 25K, zero filtering, zero smoothing, zero acceleration, zero additive PTFE, and the technical specification goes Lightspeed Wireless technology, onboard memory, click tensioning system, zero additive PTFE feet, 5 buttons, tracking, sensor is Hero sensors. I guess the sensor that goes below the mouse for tracking information is called Hero, and they're very particular about that. And then for the resolution, it is 100 or 25,600 dpi. So max acceleration is 40G and max speed is more than 400 IPS, zero smoothing, acceleration, filtering. And for the battery life in constant motion is 70 hours. That's quite a lot, and the weight is less than 63 grams. Okay, so before we open this box, why am I reviewing a gaming mouse? Well, it's because Logitech provided a review sample, so I wasn't gonna say no. But also recently I came across a mouse that was quite light, and in comparison to my regular productivity mouse, which is Master MX3 that I use, this is quite a heavy mouse. So I wanted to kind of see what it feels like to use a very light mouse. In comparison to my everyday use Master MX3, I actually don't know the exact weight of this. I'll flash on the screen. However, it is a quite heavy mouse. And having to use sort of the lighter mouse than MX Master 3, I kind of realized that lighter mouse can actually be more ergonomic and more comfortable to use for production purposes in comparison to heavier mouse, just because the amount of force that you apply to your wrist when you're trying to use the mouse. So I thought this might be worthy route as well as getting a review sample. So let's go ahead and unbox and do a short testing of this mouse so I can kind of tell you about what is my perspective on this mouse as a productivity mouse. And inevitably I'll be comparing it to my MX Master 3, which is kind of big and bulky and heavier, versus this sort of light, simpler and smaller mouse for you to use, especially for those of you who has smaller hands. This might be a better suit. Okay, so here is the mouse. It is exactly like the picture. It is white finish, quite a nice finish, I must say. This is kind of matte finish, and it is not glossy plasticky type. It is very well finished. And at the bottom you can see significant amount of the mouse feet. They call it the slide, glide, the feet. You can supposedly replace them, and that's what's really important for gaming purpose. But for me, it doesn't matter as much, but I am noticing that there's significant amount of feet on a mouse than, let's say, MX Master, which has quite little feet comparison to this one. And simply there is a power button on one corner, and then I suppose I can press that to open this, and there's a compartment inside to store the dongle, but I don't see the dongle, so perhaps the dongle is inside the box. And that is sort of all there's to it, other than the Hero sensor that is in the middle. We'll get to the rest of the mouse in a bit, but I want to get through the box content first. And in here you can see the dongle as well as a little box. Inside the box, I suppose there's like cables and manuals and such. So there's a cable, and then inside of this bag there's a manual, and then there's additional feet and maybe cleaning cloth and some sticker as well. Here is the feet, so if you want additional PTFE feet, I suppose you can replace that, and that supposedly glides better. For me, it doesn't really matter, so I'm just gonna go with this regular feet they had included as a default. And then there is a cleaning cloth in case you want to clean your mouse. But I think this is also meant for these PTFE feet because they're kind of fragile from what I understand. So you want to make sure they're clean and dust free. Maybe it's a good idea to put the mouse on top of it. And then there's like the grippy rubbers that you can put on the mouse. They are black, although I have a white mouse. And I personally prefer more plasticky feel than the sort of rubbery feel of it. Actually, that's one of the gripe that I have about MX Master 3, that I kind of have sweaty hands and I do sweat, and also I put, you know, lotions and whatnot on my hand, and over time the mouse becomes a bit sticky and you have to kind of clean it every now and then because it leaves residue. The rubberized silicone or whatever the finish that they put on this mouse seems to be going a bit stickier than what it used to be from out of the box. So I prefer more plastic than the sort of grippy feel. Personally wouldn't put this sticker on, but if you're the type of person who needs additional grip for better gaming experience, I suppose you can do that. And then they include nice G sticker, so perhaps I can put it somewhere that is visible. And then there's a quick start guide. Inside the box there is a dongle as well as a little extender of some kind, and this is a Pro X dongle and it is a USB type A, and you can connect to this dongle that's included here or just directly connect to your computer. Some of the preferred methods is to actually use this cable. So one end is USB A and the other end is micro USB. Sadly, this is micro USB, not a USB C, and with this prongs that are sticking out supposedly for stability type of thing if you're playing your games connected. And the other end of this extender is actually micro USB. So what it does is the fact that you can connect this here, you can have the dongle closer to your mouse so that there's zero amount of interference. I guess for the gaming accuracy stuff, you want zero interference so that you want to get the dongle as close as you can to the mouse without actually being connected to it. You can do that or just connect this to charge your mouse and play wired as well. There's a little slot that you can put it in and just connects like that, and then it will just charge the mouse as well as being connected to your computer. I mean, my mouse is white and perhaps the cable could have been white too. A little bit of complaint there. I suppose this being micro USB is a bit more bothersome than having no white cable. For me, however, something that I prefer to do is I have this little tiny micro USB port that I would like to connect to the tip of the mouse, and then I have this magnetic cable, so if I want to charge it, I'll just charge it like that. I can quickly connect the mouse if I want to. So that's what I would prefer to do in terms of mouse charging, and that's typically how I charge all of my devices, including this one as well. So this one just connects, although this one is USB-C, I have the same exact connection for charging the devices. That is still possible, so USB-C versus micro USB doesn't really make as much difference to me. But I know there are some people who are very picky about their charging method. So if you're one of those people, then you're just kind of out of luck. But for me, what I will do is I'll just place this dongle somewhere close by. Before I connect this dongle onto my computer, I want to test it and then just put it into this compartment here. And you surely can. So if you're traveling, you can nicely tuck it away and then place it there. It's all magnetically held. And in terms of the buttons and functionality, you got two regular mouse buttons on top. They sound nice. They do have nice tactile feel. The mouse is stunningly light, but yet it feels solid, so it doesn't feel cheap at all, and all the clicks are very tactile. It doesn't feel cheap or mushy, and the scroll is really smooth. So it is tactile yet very smooth. It's not heavy at all. It's got nice rubbery feel to it, with proper notches that I can feel, as well as these front and back buttons that are meant for the righty people. So you can easily press on that. So page forward, backward, or you can assign certain macros to it. There is a little LED indicator for power on and off, and I believe that tells you the sensitivity of the mouse as well. And that's pretty much it. Everything is kept simple. You can lightly travel with it. Lightly, because it's so light. This feels maybe triple or quadruple heavier than this mouse. I know this is never meant for light mouse, and this is meant for to be the very lightest mouse, but it feels so light, and that's gonna add on to your overall experience, as you don't have to put so much weight onto your hand when you're working. Whereas this one, I'm gonna have to put a bit more work to it in order to move it. So yeah, there is that. And before I forget, I wanna look at the pricing of this mouse, and it is retailing for $150. So that is $50 more than MX Master 3. However, it is a quality item, and this is loved by the gaming community. Some of the high-end players do use this. So that is something to be considered. So let's go ahead and test it in terms of the usage. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take out that dongle out of its compartment and then connect to my computer and then turn on the switch, and it starts working. So right off the bat, I can feel that it is very smooth in comparison to MX Master 3, which is kind of chunkier and heavier. So let's put this aside, and it is a gaming mouse, so I'm tempted to just play some games and test it out. I'm really not a gamer by any means, but I do play some games regularly, so let me go ahead and launch and play some games to put this mouse to the test. I can play some League of Legends to see how that works. And I have not played Counter-Strike in a very long time, but in the name of testing the product and unboxing and making the video, I'll just go ahead and play a little bit to kind of embarrass myself. I only played Counter-Strike even before the Source days, so I am very rusty on this one, so I'm definitely going to embarrass myself here, so please don't laugh. Okay, well. Ow. Okay, so I think that was a good round of gaming. So yeah, the mouse feels very responsive. I'm liking it for casual gaming purposes. The light mouse really does make a difference whenever you're playing a game, but even for productivity side, I think this is more favorable as it is not as heavy to move your mouse. I can definitely see the benefit of using such light mouse for your purpose. It is going to be a lot easier to travel with this as long as you can kind of keep the nice finish with a carrying case of some sort. So thank you Logitech for providing me with this nice little device that I'm gonna casually game with, and hopefully you guys found this video useful as well. If you have liked this content, please like and subscribe to my channel for continue watching these type of videos. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll see you next time. Bye.